Welcome GibbsCAM users. Today's video is kind of part number 2 on the previous video that has to do with the GibbsCAM version 2026 deburring, chamfering. You can see I have a part here which is more what is more intended, I would say, for the lollipop cutter to deburr process here. You can see I have my lollipop cutter here, 1/4 inch lollipop, 1/8 inch shank. Of course, you can put in whatever you'd like. And let's bring up the process here. I have my clearance, of course, and my total depth. I don't want it to go below that. Entry and exit, I'm just leaving the max and min there, which should be just fine. You can experiment with those just to see what you want. But the defaults are usually pretty good here. I'm clicking on Find Internal Edges and Find Back Edges. So I want to deburr all the internal edges, basically the tops here. And of course the back edges will be underneath the part there. I'm going to click on this one here, edge depth, give it a 1/10 break. And these are all interactive, so whatever you change here, the others will change. And I'm not doing from selection, I'm just going to do nearest next. And everything looks good there. Let's make sure face selection is off. Let's just select the whole part and click on Do It. And there you have your tool path. Let's do some rendering and play. So it did the top and the bottom. Here, I'll slow this down. You can see it's getting the bottom side. Now, of course, you got to be careful what size shank you use on your ball end or your lollipop, so you might have to go bigger depending on how big of a deburr process you want. And again, backside there. Of course, it's doing the edges as well and the back edges. Now, one thing you can do if you want to separate those, because you can see it's all one process there. If you open up your process again, you can say separate the op. So if I was to do this again, let's just do new process here. You can see it separates all the process, and you can see the operation list, how it separated every one of them. Now, one thing you can do as well is you don't necessarily have to click on a face. You can select faces and just do the faces where they intersect, or you can actually use edge selection. So if I just wanted to do one edge, for instance, I could just click on this edge and click on Do It. And we'll just have that edge there. And the same thing would be underneath. So you can just deburr what you want to deburr. You have your choice of what you want to deburr, or you can choose the whole thing. Now, one thing I wanted you to notice on the first operation here, let's turn on the rendering again and let it finish off there. You notice it didn't quite get all the way here and over here and along this edge here. So that is a bug that was confirmed to me, and that should be out in the next release, which is probably less than a month away. This is version 26.049.64. So this the 5.0 version should have that fixed according to Gibbs, so that'll be great. Now let's show you another one. So in this next part here, you can see we have a kind of a half circle there at an angle on there. This is a good part for deburring. If I do a cutaway here, you can see it has an undercut here, so we want to deburr underneath side of that part. And again, we're using a 1/4 inch lolly cutter. And let's bring in our contour with that tool. And again, deburr chamfer. I'm giving it a 1/10 chamfer. Again, pretty much the same thing I had on the other part there. Let's just do find internal edges here. Now this time let's maybe do a combination of a couple of things. Let's turn on face selection. I'm going to select the outside here and the two faces there and click on do it. And you'll see we have a deburr there. And again, that you'll notice when I do the rendering there, it skips a little bit up here, and that will be fixed in the next version there, as mentioned before. Let's click on this face now. And you can see we have the front edges there as well as the top side. So let's render that. Okay. And then let's do, now the underside there, you would think, okay, how am I going to click on the face of that? I can't get underneath there to click on that back face there to deburr the bottom side. We can do automatic and just select the whole solid, but let's do edge selection there. So let's just select the edge there. Let's just do only back edges. And I'm going to click on that edge right there and click on do it. And now we have our deburr on the underneath side there. So very nice. So let's render that as well. There we're doing the bottom side there. Now if I do a cutaway, let's do the cutaway there. And if we show you that and render that, you can see that's deburred as well. So let's do some manual deburring here. Instead of selecting the whole thing, we'll kind of do it separately here. So first let's open up our process here. We'll just change this to 90/90. Everything else pretty much there the same from selection. Everything looks pretty good there. Okay, let's first do click on this face here and we'll click on do it. And you can see we have the inside done, that sphere there, that oval shape. And this side here, and you can see it didn't quite reach up here, and that's what will be fixed in the next release here. That looks pretty good though so far. Okay, let's click on edge selection here, and let's click in space. Let's open up our process. Let's change this to 1 degree. Let's click on this back side here, right on the edge, right there, and we'll click on do it. You can see we have our back edge done there. Now we've already done the inside here, I believe. Let's just double check. Yeah, both these insides are done there. So let's choose a new tile and let's just click on this edge right there. But we need to change one thing here. This needs to be 1. Okay, and click on do it. Now you can see we deburred this here with our entry and exit. Let's click on the back side there and do that, and then we have the back side there. And I think that's everything there. Let's run the rendering and we'll see how we are. And our part's done there. As you can see, it missed a couple places, but that'll be fixed in the next release. But this is what it's more intended for when you're using a lollipop cutter, but really works well. It's really nice. It'll be nice when this fix is done, and then everything will get chamfered along here. We'll just show you the slice of that again. You can see we have the back side, front sides there. So So this is really nice. This is what a lot of people have wanted for a long time. Even if you don't have 5-axis Deburr process in there, it's now within the GibbsCAM standard works there. I will put out another video as soon as the bug fix is released, and to show you this same part and the other parts as complete. So thank you for watching.